You've been lied to. For years, you've been told to visualize, feel good, and trust the universe. But what if there's a reason it hasn't worked? What if the most popular manifestation technique is actually the weakest one? I spent 90 days testing both the law of attraction and the law of assumption, and what I discovered shattered everything I thought I knew. Two laws, one winner. By the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why one of these methods creates lasting transformation, while the other keeps you trapped in an endless cycle of hoping and waiting. This isn't theory. This is what actually happened when I put both laws to the ultimate test. And the results? They might make you question everything you've been doing. The Great Divide. Before we dive into the experiment, you need to understand what makes these two laws fundamentally different. The law of attraction, popularized by The Secret, tells you that like attracts like. Think positive thoughts, raise your vibration, and the universe will deliver your desires. It's about asking, believing, and receiving. Sounds simple, right? But here's the critical distinction that most teachers miss. As Neville Goddard taught, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled. The law of assumption doesn't care about your vibration or positive thinking. It operates on one principle. Whatever you assume to be true, your reality must conform to. Not might, must. The law of attraction says ask and hope. The law of assumption says assume and know. One puts you in the position of a beggar waiting for cosmic charity. The other puts you in the position of the creator who already has what they desire. Hoping versus knowing. This distinction might seem subtle, but as you're about to discover, it changes absolutely everything about how manifestation actually works. My 90-day test. Here's exactly how I structured the experiment. For the first 45 days, I practiced pure law of attraction as taught by mainstream teachers. Every morning, I did gratitude journaling. I created vision boards. I meditated on raising my vibration. I visualized my desires while trying to feel good. I said affirmations in the mirror. And most importantly, I let go and trusted the universe. Then for the next 45 days, I switched completely to the law of assumption using Neville Goddard's techniques. I created a specific scene that implied my wish was already fulfilled. Every night before sleep, I looped that scene until it felt natural. I walked through my day assuming my desire was already mine. No hoping, no asking, just knowing, the target, a specific income goal that felt like a stretch. Same goal, same time frame, different approach. As Albert Einstein once observed, insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. I needed to know which method actually produced results, not just good feelings. Attraction results. Let me be completely honest about what happened during those first 45 days with the law of attraction. I felt amazing. My vibration was high. I woke up grateful and went to bed feeling positive. I genuinely enjoyed the practice, but here's what actually manifested: almost nothing. Oh, I had some synchronicities. I'd think about someone and they'd text me. I found a few unexpected parking spots. I felt more optimistic about life in general. Good vibes, no results. But my income goal, not even close. And here's what disturbed me most. I started noticing a pattern. Every time I visualized my desire, there was this subtle feeling underneath it all. A feeling of wanting, of not having, of hoping that someday, maybe, the universe would deliver. The practice itself kept reinforcing that I didn't have what I wanted. As the philosopher Alan Watts pointed out, muddy water is best cleared by leaving it alone. But what if the water wasn't muddy? What if the whole approach was the problem? Assumption results. Day 46 began my shift to the law of assumption, and I'll admit it felt uncomfortable at first. Instead of asking the universe for my income goal, I had to assume I already had it. Every night I fell asleep in the scene of checking my bank account and seeing that number, not hoping to see it, seeing it, already done. During the day, whenever doubt crept in, I didn't try to push it away with positive thinking. I simply returned to my assumption. I already have it. It is done. Then something strange started happening around day 60. Opportunities appeared that I hadn't asked for. A client reached out with a project that perfectly matched my goal. Another business idea suddenly became clear, and the steps to implement it felt obvious. Assumption creates reality. By day 90, I hadn't just met my income goal. I exceeded it. not through luck or cosmic coincidence, but through a fundamental shift in how I was operating. The philosopher William James captured this perfectly. Act as if what you do makes a difference. It does. But this leads us to something even more disturbing. Why attraction fails. Here's the uncomfortable truth that law of attraction teachers don't want you to know. The very act of wanting something affirms that you don't have it. Every time you visualize from a place of desire, you're telling your subconscious mind one clear message. This is not my reality. Your subconscious doesn't manifest what you want. It manifests what you assume to be true about yourself and your reality. When you practice law of attraction techniques, you're often stuck in a loop. Wanting leads to affirming lack. Affirming lack creates more wanting. More wanting keeps you vibrating at the frequency of not having. It's a spiritual hamster wheel disguised as empowerment. As Carl Jung brilliantly stated, until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate. The law of attraction focuses on the conscious mind, on positive thinking and good feelings. But your subconscious runs the show. Conscious wants, subconscious creates. And what does your subconscious believe when you're constantly hoping for something? That you don't have it. That it exists in some future that never arrives. The assumption secret. So why does the law of assumption work when the law of attraction often doesn't? Because assumption bypasses your conscious mind entirely and speaks directly to your subconscious. When you assume something is true, you're not hoping or wanting. You're simply accepting a reality that already exists in your imagination. And here's the key that Neville Goddard discovered. Your subconscious mind cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined experience and a real one. When you fall asleep assuming your wish is fulfilled, feeling it as real, your subconscious accepts it as fact. And what your subconscious accepts as fact, it must express in your outer world. Imagine, feel, it's done. This isn't mysticism. Modern neuroscience confirms that mental rehearsal creates the same neural pathways as physical experience. Athletes have known this for decades. As Muhammad Ali famously declared, "I am the greatest. I said that even before I knew I was." He didn't hope to be the greatest. He assumed it. He knew it. And his reality had no choice but to conform. But this raises an important question about timing. The timing trap. One of the biggest mistakes people make with both laws is obsessing over when their manifestation will arrive. Let me tell you something that transformed my entire practice. The moment you ask when, you're admitting it hasn't happened yet. You've stepped out of the assumption and back into wanting. Neville Goddard called this living in the end. Not living toward the end. Not living for the end. Living in it. Right now. The law of attraction often encourages you to detach from timing, which sounds good in theory. But detachment is still a position of waiting. It's still acknowledging that what you want exists somewhere in the future. Stop waiting, start having. True assumption eliminates time altogether. If you already have it, there's nothing to wait for. There's no future moment when it arrives because in your inner world, it's already here. As the Stoic philosopher Marcus Aurelius wrote, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Your manifestation isn't coming. In the realm of imagination where all creation begins, it already exists. Your job is simply to accept that truth. Dealing with doubt. Here's where most people fail with the law of assumption. They assume their desire is fulfilled and then reality seems to contradict them. Bills still arrive. The scale shows the same number. The relationship hasn't improved, and doubt floods in. This is exactly where the law of attraction fails you. It tells you that doubt lowers your vibration and pushes away your manifestation. So now you're not just doubting your doubt. You're spiraling. The law of assumption handles this completely differently. Doubt in your outer circumstances is irrelevant. As Neville taught, do not be concerned with the how or when. Creation is finished. Your current reality is simply the echo of old assumptions. It's yesterday's news printed on today's paper. When doubt appears, you don't fight it or fear it. You simply return to your assumption. I remember who I am. I remember what is true. Doubt appears, return, assume. The outer world will catch up. It has no choice. but only if you stop letting it dictate what you believe about yourself. The bridge method. Now let me give you the exact technique I used during those 45 days of assumption that produced real results. I call it the bridge method because it bridges your current reality to your desired reality through imagination. First, choose one specific scene that would naturally occur if your wish were already fulfilled. Not the wish itself, but something that would happen after. If you want money, don't imagine money. Imagine what you'd do or say or see once you had it. Make it sensory. What would you touch, hear, see in that moment? Second, every night as you're falling asleep, loop that scene repeatedly. Feel yourself in it, not watching it like a movie. Experience it from first-person perspective. Third, and this is crucial, fall asleep in that feeling. As the psychologist William James noted, the greatest discovery of my generation is that human beings can alter their lives by altering their attitudes of mind. Scene, feel, sleep, repeat. The drowsy state just before sleep is when your subconscious is most receptive. Plant your assumption there, water it with feeling, and watch your outer world transform, your new reality. So which law wins? After 90 days of testing, my answer is clear. The law of assumption isn't just more effective. It's the actual mechanism behind the law of attraction when it does work. Those rare times when attraction techniques succeed, it's because the person unconsciously shifted into assumption. They stopped hoping and started knowing. The law of attraction is like using a remote control without batteries. You're pressing all the right buttons, but nothing's happening. The law of assumption puts the batteries in. It connects you directly to the creative power of your subconscious mind. You are the creator. But here's what I want you to understand most deeply. This isn't about techniques or methods. It's about recognizing who you really are. You are not a beggar asking the universe for scraps. As Neville Goddard proclaimed, assume the feeling of your wish fulfilled and observe the route that your attention follows. You are the operant power. You are the universe becoming conscious of itself. And whatever you assume with feeling, your reality must express. Tonight, when you lay your head on your pillow, you have a choice. You can continue hoping that someday the universe will finally deliver what you've been asking for. Or you can step into your true power and simply assume that what you desire is already yours. Change your conception of yourself, and you will automatically change the world in which you. The law of attraction taught you to want. The law of assumption teaches you to have. One keeps you waiting for a future that never arrives. The other pulls that future into your present moment. I tested both. I lived both. And now I'm sharing what I learned so you don't have to spend years spinning on that hamster wheel of positive thinking and hoping. Assume it is done. Your thoughts become things, but only the thoughts you truly accept as real. Choose the ones that serve your highest vision. And remember, you are not a victim of your reality. You are the architect of it. Stay aligned. Stay abundant. If this video shifted something in you, subscribe for more. And share it with someone who's been stuck in the hoping cycle.